I want some components that are accessible, initializable from the view model, not the view controller, and I want each component to have a view model and a view itself. Let's see what I came up with. For a long time, I've wanted to improve how I've created components in my project. So when I'm making an update, I want to use the previous model in the component to recreate it. So let's look at the outcome of my investigation. I have a label here, which is basically a UI label subclass, and label model is published in my standard view model. So let's see what happens. The received value, this is my label, and it's kind of coming back from the view model, and I still have access to the original model. So when I update, I could use that original model and say update a single property. So there's actually some technical wizardry that's had to go on here. Like the view model needs to know that we're in view did load, and it kicks off this whole sequence of events. So let's look what's happening in the view model. Well, we can see that when we're in did load, we're initializing the label model, and we can initialize it with the text. So this could be localized text, it could be anything, but the text is driven from the view model rather than the view controller, which I think is really nice. So in order to get this working, I needed to have an extension on UI view controller. So I just have all of the life cycle states there that I'm likely to use. Because I'm passing the label model kind of back to my view model, then I needed this extension for publisher, which kind of makes that happen. So therefore I can use my previous label model when I update my label. So if we take a look at the component, finally, itself, I've got a load of stuff here which is to do with it being a link, so it can handle links. And this is all very interesting, but I think it's better placed in the article that I've written, which links to then my clickable label article. Whereas here, I just want to talk about how the label actually works, because it's not actually doing that much. It's just passing intrinsic content size onto the superclass, which is a UI label. But obviously, if there isn't any text, it can be an empty frame. The text is just passed again to the superclass, so we're not doing anything particularly interesting here. And that's kind of it. When we update, we just update the text. Nothing too exciting is happening, because this is just a simple example. And to show you how simple it actually is, if I look at the label model, we just have a text. Type alias is to make the view have a nice name, but apart from that, we're just setting up a property with text. So the interesting part is within that view controller, and within the view, we're taking our text from the view model rather than the view, which I like a lot, and we can update the label using the previous model that we initiated with the label. So I think this is a very nice thing to do. Well, I hope that's been of help to you, and if you've any comments on this, please do get in touch with me on Twitter or in the comments here. Whichever, I'm really interested to know if you found this useful or how you might implement components. And I guess I'll see you in the next video if you made it this far.